What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video, or welcome to the channel. Guys, I'm going to be discussing Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. The fight that's coming up in a week. I planned on to make this video earlier, but I really wanted to sit with this and think of how is this fight going to go? And I've only come up with one answer. And that is Canelo Alvarez will dominate or knock out Terence Crawford. Now watch the rest of this video if you want to hear the rest of the reasonings of what I have to offer. I don't think that made sense grammarly wise. Let's just start off with a couple things. First of all, the weight. Terence Crawford is going up 3 weight classes. He just went up 1 weight class against Ismail Madrimov, I believe his name was. Very good fighter, awkward fighter to fight. He did not look that good, just going up 1 weight class. And I remember right after that fight, people were like, okay, he should not go up to fight Canelo at 168 after just going up to 154 and not looking that good. He won the fight, but it wasn't complete domination. It was a competitive fight. And he didn't look like, the Terence Crawford everyone hypes him up to be. A lot of people forget about that. A lot of people forget about that fight. And that was his last fight, too. Terence Crawford is not a super active fighter. He fights like once a year now. When was that Errol Spence fight? 2 years ago? 2.5 years ago or something? Then he waited so long, fought Madrimov. Like how long? Months and months and months ago. And now he's fighting Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is way more active. So that's just interesting to me that a lot of people just like to forget about how mid Terence Crawford's performance was against Madrimov. It wasn't that good. I know Madrimov, he is a hard opponent. Southpaw, I believe. Just awkward guy. But Canelo wouldn't have done that. Or maybe he would have. I don't know. But we're not talking about that. We're not talking about what Canelo would have done to Madrimov. We're talking about what happened and what Terence Crawford did to Madrimov. And he didn't do much. He won, but he didn't do much. Now let's talk about the age. Terence Crawford is 38. Or 37, very close to 38. I'm going to just say 38 years old. Canelo is 36. Or he might be 35. No, Canelo is 35. And you could definitely tell he's kind of slowing down in his career. You could definitely tell he's not as fast as he used to be. His IQ is the best as it's ever been. But he's definitely not at the peak maybe he was 4 years ago. So it's interesting to see, but a lot of people are talking about Terence Crawford like he's a younger fighter coming into this. Terence Crawford is older than Canelo. And not even looking that good. He looked like he's slowed down a lot. And I can't trust that he somehow gotten better or faster since that Madrimov fight. Now who's faster? I believe Canelo is faster. They're both not that fast guys. Terence Crawford relies on his precision and IQ to win fights. His speed has never been such a big thing. People talk about his speed and say it's crazy. It's not that crazy. I believe Canelo has faster hands. He just doesn't use his hands like Terence Crawford that makes him look fast. And what I mean by that is Canelo doesn't throw long combinations like Terence Crawford sometimes does. Canelo is a track you down type guy and throw his left hook calculated, throw it 1 or 2 times, throw his shots 1 or 2 times. He's a 1-2 combo type guy, 1-2-3 type guy, maybe a 1-2-3-4 type guy. But Crawford, he's always been a 1-2-3-4 type guy. So, but who has the advantage in that aspect? In this fight, I believe it's Canelo. And how they fight, Terence Crawford is comfortable fighting on the back foot. He will fight off the back foot, and I don't believe that's going to win him this fight. Especially against Canelo, a front foot type fighter who pressures you and follows you around the cage. Now, what I mean by follow around the cage, I don't mean that in the bad way you guys think where, a boxer's just following someone around the cage and not cutting them off. Canelo will cut you off, but he won't do it completely, and he'll follow you around, and it can be exhausting for his opponents. Look at what he did to William Skull. Now, I know that was a lackluster performance, people called it. but that was a good performance by Canelo, and there wasn't really much Canelo could do against William Skull. William Skull's a big Cuban who for some reason wanted to fight on the back foot that whole fight and didn't give much action. There's nothing Canelo really could have done except just do what he did, and he got the better shots off that fight and won that fight pretty clearly. Let me see. Oh yeah, power. Who has the power here? Easily Canelo. One thing I want to talk about is Arthur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol happened 2 times. Canelo versus Bivol happened 1 time. I didn't need to say all that, but I just said random fights that happened. What I'm saying is Dimitri Bivol came out and said that Canelo hits harder than Arthur Beterbiev. Yes, Arthur Beterbiev, the guy who's known for lights out power, the guy who's known for his power, and who is very powerful. Dimitri Bivol said Canelo hits harder than him, and that has to mean something. Dimitri Bivol's not a guy who's going to go out there and just lie. Why would he do that? Dimitri Bivol's one of the pound-for-pound best boxers there is right now. Except, for the, few people like Usyk. Usyk, still believe Arthur Beterbiev is better and won both fights. Canelo's not ahead of him, but he's right behind him if there was. But you know what I mean. Dimitri Bivol, he said that Canelo's power is more than Arthur Beterbiev. No one has ever said Terence Crawford has crazy power. He didn't show it that much. The Errol Spence fight, of course he showed it, but that was because he was hitting just Spence with clean shots. That, everyone knows Spence wasn't fully there that night. Let's talk about that fight. Errol Spence, obviously, I think Terence Crawford beats him if Errol Spence was fully there that night. But if you look at that fight, that was not the same Errol Spence that we're used to seeing. Errol Spence hasn't even fought against after that. I still do believe Terence Bud Crawford would do a similar thing to what he did to Errol Spence that night. But that wasn't the full Errol Spence we saw. I don't know the reason. I have no proof behind that, but I'm just saying that. Yeah, Terence Crawford had never been a big power guy. Now, I know he did come into a lot of these. He has a lot of knockouts and TKOs. But I believe against Canelo that's not going to be a thing. Canelo's used to fighting bigger and better guys straight up. And he has a granite chin. First of all, he doesn't even get hit cleanly. When have you really seen Canelo get really cracked? You really haven't. Canelo has very good defense. Even this older version of Canelo with less head movement, he still rolls with your shots and just he'll slip some. And even if you hit him, you don't fully hit him. And even if you do hit him flush, his chin is there. I don't believe Terence Crawford can knock out Canelo. I really don't. I don't think it's possible. If Terence Crawford were to do that, I would run down the street naked, record it, post it on YouTube. I do not believe that's possible at all. Now, Canelo, can he knock out Terence Crawford? Yes, I believe that 100%. First of all, the reason why hasn't he had many knockouts recently? Well, let's look at the fights, man. William Skull ran away from him the whole time. That's a hard fight. Edgar Berlanga, I believe, was his opponent before that. He knocked down Edgar Berlanga. He's knocked down every opponent except William Skull for like the past 10 years. Before Edgar Berlanga, I believe it was Jamal Charlo or Jermel. I get the twins confused. Knocked him down too. Before that, I believe it was Jaime Munguia. Knocked him down too. Canelo has power, and it's against these not much bigger guys, but bigger guys. Definitely decently bigger guys than what Terence Crawford is. Terence Crawford, I believe, is an inch taller than Canelo. He's definitely not as big as Canelo, though. So that's going to factor in. Canelo has power. He can crack. Dimitri Bivol even said it, and I'm going to take his word for that. Let's talk about their styles. Go back to how they like to fight and what combinations they throw. Terence Crawford, when he's in your face, it's hard to read him. You can't really read him. He's a guy you don't know where he's going. He sets traps, and it's very impressive. I don't believe he can. If they're going to be in the middle of the ring, and sit in the pocket in the middle of the ring like how some of them are talking like they're gonna do. First of all, Canelo's not just gonna let that happen. And second of all, if he wants to let it happen, I believe Canelo even wins those exchanges. I believe Canelo's much stronger than people think. He's a very strong fighter. Once again, going back to who he's facing, he's picked up guys in the ring. Does this thing with his jab hand. He'll grab and hold a fighter where they are, basically, and move them where he wants. Let's talk about Canelo's left hook. So let's go back for a second before we get to his left hook. He'll grab a fighter, move them around where he wants. Terence Crawford isn't used to that. He hasn't fought fighters that do that, and especially ones. He's never fought a fighter as strong as Canelo, and not one with the experience of Canelo. Canelo's younger than Crawford by 3 years, but has more experience than him. Canelo's been doing it since he was 16 years old in the pro scene. Now, the left hook of Canelo, I don't think that's necessarily what wins him this fight. Now, that's what has won him his jab hand, left hook, whatever you want to call it, his lead hand. That's what has won him. I don't think that makes sense. That has won him his fights for the last 5 years. That lead hand of just tricking people with that lead hand, thinking he's going upstairs, but he goes down to the body. He'll rip the body 10 times, then go upstairs. It's so unpredictable, and every fighter he's faced has struggled with it. He'll go to your liver, bow, bow, and then he'll go to your head. He'll set traps with it, and it works so well. So I believe he can do that against Bud, but I don't believe that's going to be the winning factor. I think it's going to be Canelo's right hand, and really him setting that right hand up with his left lead hand. Guys, I just believe Canelo. I believe he either dominates Terence Crawford. Now, here's how I think he dominates Terence Crawford. I think they go in, and if it starts to be a firefight early, I think Terence Crawford's going to realize he's not as strong as Canelo. Canelo has real power he's never seen before. And Canelo is just different, man. He really is just different. He's going to realize the level of opponent he's facing, and he's going to want to stay away and try to pick his shots. And when you want to try to stay away, especially on the back foot, circle around, while Canelo is following you around the ring, good luck. The fight is already done. Canelo's going to track you down. He may not knock you out, but that whole fight you're going to be on the back foot. Canelo's going to look more active. He's going to just track you down with that lead hand. And before you know it, you got snake charmed by Canelo. It's a 12th round, and you realize you're down 5 rounds. And you're out of there. Canelo, I believe that could happen where Terence Crawford realizes early he can't mess with Canelo inside. And he can't go into a firefight with Canelo because he will lose that. And he'll start to go on the back foot, dance around, similar maybe to what William Skull did. And even similar to what Terence Crawford did against Madrimov. We saw Madrimov piece up Crawford in some moments, and Terence Crawford go on the back foot a lot. You just can't do that against Canelo. No one can. No one can. You got to go on the front foot with him. Terence Crawford isn't strong enough. He's not long enough. He's not big enough. He ain't strong enough. I said strong enough again. Now, if they do want to stay in the firefight and Crawford has success in there, I believe Canelo has a better chin. He has more power. Let's see how long that lasts. Canelo will knock him out within 6 rounds. Or TKO him. Whatever you want to call it. He could hurt Crawford badly. But I don't think Crawford can hurt Canelo badly. He can hurt Canelo. That's a possibility. I don't believe he does. But I believe Canelo could hurt Crawford badly. My official prediction for this fight is Canelo by 8th round stoppage. I believe he'll pick apart Crawford. He won't. No. He won't pick apart Crawford. No one can really pick apart Crawford. But they'll go into a firefight early. Up until maybe the 3rd round, Crawford will back up and realize, okay, hey, I got to think about this smart who I'm in here with. Go on the back foot for a little bit. They'll go back into it in the 7th, 8th round. Canelo will find his shot, put out Crawford cold. I don't care what people have to say. Canelo Alvarez will beat Terence Crawford, coming September 13th on Netflix live. Netflix, I'm doing a promotion for you. Sponsor me. Guys, make sure to like, subscribe, comment whatever you want. Let me know in the comments what you think about this fight, your predictions for this fight. This is the best prediction ever. Canelo will end Crawford, and it's going to be scary. Peace out.